Estate Renee with Access Hollywood Real Estate. Today my guest is Tom Pelletier from the Foundation Works, and the information that I'm bringing you is all about foundations of the house. We're going to get to see the interior of an old Spanish here in Whitley Heights, and I'm going to let Tom take us on a tour, so stay tuned. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is a 1927, late 20s Spanish-style house, Hollywood Hills, very traditional. I'm going to walk you through here actually, and what I want to do is point out just a couple of things that are, I call them indicators. They're indicators of what's actually going on with an old house. A lot of times people get the idea that it's an old house, so it definitely has to have cracks in it. It's actually not true. This is just one example here I'm going to show you. There's actually about 5 different things right in this spot that actually tell me what's happening underneath the house. In this case, it's not a severe situation, but if the house could talk, this is basically what it's trying to say. And what I want to do is I want to start off right at this corner here. If you can focus in on this, there's actually 3 different indications right here. The first one is the fact that the door is rubbing on this side of the door sill. The second one is the fact that this crack here is open on this end, but not yet this end on the wood trim. As subtle as this is, it actually matters. And then this diagonal crack in the plaster. And I want to close this door and just sort of show a representation of what's happening. The door is sticking on this end because this 90-degree angle over time is actually dropped this way, which is why this seam is opening up this way, which is why this wall is being stretched. This plane and this plane are actually moving apart from each other. And if you focus the camera over here in the next room, as we go into a bathroom, you'll see a pattern of these diagonal cracks moving across the wall here. All of this is...
yeah, the detail right there.
So all of this is an indication that the foundation, which is over here, is actually dropping down over time. This has taken decades to occur. This wall is actually drifting this way. It's actually settling down. And in a moment we'll go outside and take a look at the reason for that, which is actually drainage. This is a very solid, well-built house. I've been underneath it. Looks fantastic, and yet frightening to most buyers because they just see cracks in the walls and they don't realize the relevance or really lack of relevance of some of these cracks. So we're going to go outside next and actually take a look at why this is happening. Actually, one thing I want to show you first, opposite side of the room, you see patterns on the opposite wall indicative of the same thing. This shower stall is actually shifting in this direction because the foundation over here is dropping down this way. It's actually stretching the plaster walls, literally. So let's go over into this next room here, and we can head outside and take a look at what's causing that.
All right, ready? Go for it.
Okay, so now we're actually outside. The room that we were just located in is actually where the building outcropping is here. What I want to point out, if you take a look up top here, this is called a scupper, and this is on this Spanish-style roof. This is about 80% of all the roof water in the building is coming right down here, and it's dumping on the concrete, which is fine, except it's then going to flow this way. And I want to connect this to what we looked at inside. As soon as it gets here and starts to hit soil, where you see this growth, the saturation of the soil adjacent to my foundation is why this wall is settling. On the interior, I said that the bathroom was sinking this way. I'm now standing outside that room. The only reason this bathroom is settling, not because it's an 80-year-old house, but because that drainage is being allowed to access this foundation. If that drainage were controlled down to the street, this bathroom would not continue to crack. And in actual fact, though those cracks might look scary, we've got a very good foundation under here that's just settled enough to crack the walls. Once the water problem is gone, the cracking stops, and this old girl goes back to sleep structurally. And it actually will be totally fine at that point. That's really the key thing that causes foundation problems, is the saturation of the soil directly next to the foundation. This is 95% of everything that has to be fixed foundation-wise has got to do with water. So that'd be the one key thing to really watch out for, is where's the water going outside your building.
Tom?
Yes.
I want to thank you for taking us on a quick tour around this particular property. We're going to do a couple of segments on this old Spanish here in Whitley Heights. So I want everybody to stay tuned. But Tom, thank you for your time. And I want to thank the audience for their time in tuning in to a subject that is probably a little taboo for a lot of people.
A little bit.
It can be a little scary. You're seeing cracks in your home, right?
Yeah. It's a lot of scary people.
Not to be scared. Actually, everything is fixable. So even if you want that old Spanish in Southern California, which is kind of a quintessential home, then we can actually fix some of these problems and you get yourself a good deal that's out there. So I want to remind everybody that thank you for tuning in, and then